he for
Just
stopping?
ignore me. No,
he's not for stopping.
No, he's in a rush, his lad.
So that's his problem, is it?
Ah, yeah.
Right, when he finds that.
Yeah, he runs inside a steam engine, he'll get a bollocking.
Right, ladies and gents, I think it's fair to say we've got basically a bit of a special day going on today. It's, I think some would say it's a bit of a once in a lifetime sort of thing. So without further ado, I won't explain what's going on today. I'm going to let this man here, Mr. Alex Sharphouse, explain what's going on today. And to be honest, we could probably talk to Alex all day about his business and what he gets up to. But we're going to stick to the script. We're going to talk about what we're up to today. So Alex, I mean, just run us through what is going on today.
What are we doing? What are we? You could ask what we're doing. It must be mad.
Have you been asking yourself what you're doing?
Just thinking, what are
about
we doing?
About 3 o'clock this morning?
Yeah. So, what we're doing, we are moving a railway engine.
Yeah.
It's actually a commercial job. The engine has been languishing up here, rotting away.
Right. So whereabouts are we here?
We're at Threlkeld Mining Museum.
Right.
Just outside Keswick, really, between Keswick and Grasmere.
Yeah.
The engine belongs to the Whitehaven County Council, and the engine worked in Whitehaven docks all its life up until 1971. Since then it's been passed round pillar to post, and the poor thing came here on temporary storage 15 years ago and has just sat outside rotting away.
Right.
So we restore and build steam engines as a living, and
that's at Old Farm.
That's at Old Farm, Balve. And our company name is John Fowler & Co Leeds Limited. We actually bought the original company that builds traction engines,
right, and
have carried on in their name building and repairing steam engines. So we were approached about restoring this engine, which we were happy to take on, but stupidly I had this idea that we thought rather than just roar up here with a big heavy haulage truck, we would use some traditional methods and move it with a stick by steam back home.
Yeah. So rather than an easy method, which we could have done in 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours and job done. We've gone down this route. So the trailer you can see is a Dyson heavy haulage trailer. It's rated at about 60 tonne payload on it, weighs 20 tonne empty. Yeah. So that was a pile of wreckage that we acquired. It's an original trailer. It went to Walter Denton's as new, and then it ended up at Pickford's. So that's been a restoration project in itself, and this is the first time we've used it. Right. And then pulling it is Talisman, which is the Fowler B6.
I would say the famous Talisman.
The famous Talisman Fowler B6 road loco, which anyone who's seen it, we have built the engine from scratch. 8 years ago we started it. Took us 6 years. And we've had it out for about 2 years now. But we've obviously COVID slowed us right, didn't do very much, but we've done a bit on the road with it, and it's kind of just sort of starting to settle in. Yeah.
So you broke it in.
We broke it in a bit, and then with 2 other engines helping us. We've got one on the front, which is another Fowler, called Foremost, and one on the back here is another Fowler again, which is called Joe. Right. So yeah, that's where we're at. The load is about 50 tonne. Yeah. With 50 miles to go, but we've got some fairly steep terrain to go about doing it. It's
some fair roads around here.
It's some fair roads. We're in the lakes. And normally, if you look at the data back in the day and read what the haulage did, a B6 was rated at about 100 tonne on the flat. As it
that's what it could pull.
It could pull that, like if it was just a flat job, 100 tonne. But 50 tonne was kind of like the rule of thumb on engine on its own, more or less reasonable going. Liverpool to Manchester, not a problem. We've got 50 tonne, and here we are. Like we've got some passes to go. So all they would do was multi-pull engines up to give you more pulling power and more stopping power. So we've got 2 extra engines on to help us with it. So, and hopefully that's enough.
I was gonna say, well, looking at hills around here, hopefully
well,
it is
hopefully it's enough.
You're just getting out the gate, the first bit is a hill like that. So, so just give us a few statistics on this. Obviously, you got your 3 engines, but what sort of weights are the engines? And
the engines are about 20 tonne a piece. So we've got three engines at 20 tonne, and then we've got load at 50 tonne. So we're about, I think we're about 140 foot long, I think, something like that.
And what are your main challenges with a move like this?
One of the biggest problems in today's world is getting a movement order, because obviously we're over length, we're overweight. So we applied for a movement order. I've never done anything like this before. So like you do, who do you do? You ring somebody you know. So we rang, obviously, Greg, who owns S&G Plant. That he does it every day for a living.
That's it.
And very kindly he said, don't worry about it, it's not a problem. So I'll take your word for it. Anyway, so off we went. But on all these things like you do now, it's go on a computer, tick box, this, that and the other. There isn't a box for steam engine and like drawbars and all this lot. So it's taken quite a lot of working out and getting the right people on board, people that really understand what you're on about. But we've done it. We've got a movement order, we've got permission from the authorities, we've had to get police permission, and you know, go down all the various routes. But it's all happened. We've got to go. There's a 7.5 tonne conservation weight limit. Well, I've never heard one of these.
Right.
But
conservation
weight limit. Right. So it's supposedly because we're going through, you know, scenery and places of natural great beauty and all this Jenga, that it's to stop obviously trucks just roaring through, but there's not actually a structural weight limit on it. So then we had to get a permit from the council, and then they then go, they'll only give you a permit if the police will pass it off, and they are entitled to escort you all the way if they think it's enough. Anyway, we've seemed to have worked a magic, and we're doing that. So we've got escort vehicles front and rear, which Greg, again, is S&G Plant.
We'll have a catch up with Greg in a bit as well.
Greg's in charge of this operation. He does it every day. He assures me it's not a problem. He's going to deal with all the furious motorists. So he's in front, one behind, radios. Hopefully, you know, letting people by where we can, getting around the corners where we can. That's where it's going to go.
That's it. Fingers crossed. And I suppose we should just mention charity element of it as well.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we built the engine, and then we decided we'll put it to the challenge. So you think, well, you know, why are we doing this? And it just came to mind that I was conscious I wanted to do something for cystic fibrosis. My nephew, Angus McIntosh, he helped me when we started to build the engine. He did some YouTube footage and camera work, and helped us get the sponsorship that we have today to help us build it and to support us today with the sponsorship doing this movement, which is Morris Lubricants. You know, we think, well, we're going to do this move, let's see if we can do some fundraising. Angus sadly never got to see Talisman finished. He passed away at the age of 25 with cystic fibrosis and fought a real battle with it, and it kind of just, when you think about it, makes us realise what we're sort of doing today and building that is very insignificant towards what he had to put up with and his battle. He just wanted to breathe. You know,
this is an easy challenge.
This, you know, we at the end of the day, we can always go home. He couldn't. So I just thought I want to try and give something back, try and help the charity that helped him, put something back in the pot for somebody else who needs some help with it. So we set up a Just Give page. It's online. You can go on and donate. It's Talisman Tour. It's on the Morris Lubricants website, and it's cystic fibrosis. So I mean, if anyone could put something in the pot, it'd be much appreciated. We just want to raise as much money as we can for him.
Absolutely spot on. Well, Alex, I'll leave you to it here because you've got a lot of preparation to do before we get going, and then hopefully we'll catch up with you later and get a bit of a sit rep.
No, brilliant. Yeah,
nice one.
Good one. All right.
boys and girls, we're now with the man himself, Mr. Greg Pinder from S&G Plant Services, who are kindly doing the, well Greg, what are you doing?
I'm doing escorting. I'm doing escorting. Yeah, I'm an escort. I'm a male escort, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing the escorting.
You're front end?
Front end, and Matt, my mechanic,
yeah,
is doing the back end. So we've 2 vans on. Right. And we're stopping all the traffic and flying out with locals.
Yeah.
And that's us.
Right. So how's it going so far? I mean, what?
We're all right. We've got a bit of a slow start. They didn't know if brakes were going to work in a lot trailer.
It was a bit all unknown, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think once we get onto this air road in another 10 minutes, we'll be all right.
Yeah, we can let loose then.
Yeah,
can we go up a cog?
Well, I hope so. We're getting into second now with another one to go up. So hopefully we'll get it in third in a bit. But we're all right. We're doing all right now. Weather's helping because there's not that many folk out today.
Well, that's it. He's keeping him back a bit. I don't know what it'll be like tomorrow though.
No, it could be a nightmare tomorrow.
Because this is
Windermere.
This is day 1, isn't it? Day 1 of 3 days.
Day 1 of 3 days. We're going for. I think we're doing 10 mile today, 10 or 11 mile today.
Yeah.
I think it's 43 altogether. So if today, Saturday and Sunday, we've got to be off by 3:30 because the movement order works as in really you can't be going. I know there's no real rush hour at Lakes.
Yeah.
But between 9:30 and 3:30 are your prime times for moving abnormals.
That's your working window, is it?
Yeah.
Right. I suppose a bit light at this time of year.
That's the other thing. Many a time they say 3:30 and then only in daylight hours, which then obviously in winter is 9 o'clock next morning. 2 minutes, man. I've just an abnormal load coming. Yeah, so it is interesting work. It's a bit of crack.
It's something different today, isn't it? For all of us, I think.
Yeah. Normally we're used to shifting them on Arctics, obviously, and doing, but and it's a nice route. It took a bit to get in past us this route with police.
Yeah.
Because obviously police don't just understand what we're moving.
Now, Greg. Behind him again.
Sound like you. And
I think they struggled with classification.
They struggled with classification. They struggled with they struggled with everything, to be right about it. They've struggled with there's 1 or 2 places which are 7.5 ton weight limits, but only for environmental reasons.
Right.
So like bits of villages.
Yeah.
So then they wanted us to go down M6. Well, that would be a bit of
time. That'd be a laugh, wouldn't it?
4 mile an hour, wouldn't it? We'd be better at M25 at that speed.
Yeah. So obviously you'll be used to lots of escort jobs, big heavy all these jobs with wagons.
Yeah.
How's this compared?
Well, this is a bit more crack, to be fair. We've took some stuff into the middle of Windermere past some kiosks for a company called Nemenka. That were a big job. But like what they do is they want you to do it on a Monday because there's obviously Lakes Angels busy on a Monday. The problem with that is what the council don't seem to realise is that on a Monday everybody's off work because Lakes are quiet. They're all normally natives, so they know the roads quite well. So then you come across some boy racer in his Fiesta doing 120 and he comes across a 5 metre wide kiosk. So that's the drama being, on a Monday and out of season, really.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, it's in scope. Is this the only thing with this is the length, obviously, and each engine's 17 ton. So you're 51 ton to start with. Then you have a 20 ton trailer, then you have a 35 ton engine, so you're like probably top side of 100. But it's spread out.
There's a lot of axles
over 9 axles.
Yeah.
So, like we only go to 95 ton on 8 axles, so they're not so far off anyway, So it's fairly. We're bobbing on a bit now. It looks like we're doing.
What are we on now? 8?
Yeah, we can go a bit quicker. Yeah.
Well, you're holding job up now.
I didn't realise I were loitering, to be honest with you.
But when you're doing like this job with normal wagons, do they push you on a lot more than this? This is just
no, they're not so bad. To be fair, we don't often have one behind as well. We've only got one behind this because it's that slow.
Yeah.
That's why we've got one behind. Council spec one behind.
Right.
Anyway, I had to get police involved, but they're like 1,500 quid a day minimum. So thankfully, they said they haven't enough resources, which were a godsend, really.
Means you can just look after it yourself.
Yeah. And not just. I mean, jobs change. This escorting job's changed drastically over the last 20 years because once over, when it were police escorts all the time, you were permanently waiting for police in every different area.
All right.
Like you come out of Hull once, or when I first started the heavy job, so you'd leave Hull, and you come through Humberside, then you go into East Yorkshire, then West Yorkshire, then Manchester, then Lancashire, you know. So you've 5 or 6 police forces.
So they don't have to keep swapping around every time you got to the border.
So like you get to the top of Saddleworth, as an example, halfway down Big Hill, halfway down Windy Hill, there's a lay-by on the left-hand side. So you tried to stop 120 or 30 tonne coming down hillside into the lay-by, so then Yorkshire police can bugger off and swap with Lancashire police, Greater Manchester, you know. And it were a big job. Well, now self-escorting, as long as you're right and you're set up.
Yeah.
And I mean, we send our lads on a course. You know, there is a 1-day course for escort vehicles, which I don't think technically you need to do. But I just feel it'll be better for, I wouldn't say even for our insurance, but it's better for us as a company.
Well, that's it.
To have, you know, with 3 or 4 lads who can escort quite comfortably and competently,
Obviously, we've been on like a country road this morning, which had its own set of challenges. It were up and down, it were wiggly, and it had a lot of traffic, and it were narrow.
Yeah.
What's this like? I'm obviously around quite a wide main road, so is this pose more danger because it's speed, or is it better because there's more space?
It's a bit of both, really. It does cause more danger because of speed. Like, I know you have to try and monitor the traffic and try and get them to slow down and do whatever, but in some ways, you know, people are also, they've got to be responsible for their own actions.
Yeah.
And everybody's always in a bloody rush at the minute, and everybody wants to get everywhere.
That's it.
Flat out. But this road now is a better road. You feel more relaxed on here than what you would do. I mean, on a motorway, a dual carriageway, when you're escorting, you need to be behind. So you know, your escort vehicle needs to be behind. It's only on a single carriageway where you need your escort vehicle in front.
Yeah.
Now we've got 2, and we're taking 2 all the way because we're down on speed.
Yeah.
But as a rule now, if we're coming down here, we'd be in front of our abnormal load with this van. If it broke into dual carriageway, we'd pull over, let him pass, and jump out behind him.
Right, and sit on his back.
And that's how that's how it works. But you'll always get somebody, if you're taking like 1.5 lanes up, you'll always get somebody who wants to nip past you.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to wait like.
Yeah. And at least with this today, it's a sensible width, and it's not like it's.
No, it's in scope. It's only 2.5 metres wide.
Yeah.
You know, there's no dramatic bit really, other than 15-minute gear changes, which we're not really used to. Like, especially now with these modern motors we run, they're even automatic, so you don't even change gear on them.
No, it's just point and shoot.
Yeah, but these bikes seeming to like pull up and have scratches and knackers and think about changing gear, and then eventually do it. You think, what's going on here? Like,
You need to get a bit further ahead, I think, Greg.
why do you want to make a lot of speed uphill?
Gonna get the tour down uphill.
I bet there'll be some smoke comes out in a minute when they do start arriving.
Gear change now, Greg.
Are they going down?
That'll take till about 12:30. Will they go into second, Mark, or will they go straight down to first?
I think they'll only be a second and they're setting off again now.
Oh, quick change down that. Double clutch, down she goes.
Can go now, Greg. They're up, caught up to you.
I wouldn't say they caught up to me, really. They're not going to run it back at me.
Within quarter of a mile.
They'll be overtaking you in a second.
There's also a sign on what says no waiting, deceleration lane. Must be for you lads to slow down.
Right, ladies and gents, I'm now joined by Andy Sims from Morris Lubricants, who's basically going to tell us about sort of their part in this epic adventure. So, Andy, I mean, just take it away, really.
So, really, it starts 7 years ago. So, we're a 150-year-old, over 150-year-old, 5th generation family business, and they've always had an enthusiasm for the steam and heritage industry.
Right.
And so, it started a long time ago where our chairman and chief executive, the Goddard family, had known Alex and kind of met each other at steam events and steam fairs, and then Alex explained the project to the family, and they were just desperate to get involved.
Right, so that was all sort of kicked off with the Talisman project,
yes,
right?
It started off with Talisman, and then the build has taken time. As Alex, as you can see, it's been a fantastic job, and it's an incredible piece of engineering. And we've always just been following that progress over the years and supporting as we can, whether that be with financial or product support with our oils. And then about in 2019, when it hit our 150th anniversary, Alex displayed the engine for the first time at the Shrewsbury Steam Rally. And then obviously what's happened over the last couple of years has slowed the progress down, but now we're ready for the official tour, and it's now a good time to get out on the road.
This is it, it's happening now.
Well, it's fantastic that I'm going to see it in action, because it's one of those ones, we've seen it steaming, we've seen it going, we've seen the engine going, all the boiler tests, but to actually see it pull something like this, and actually what it was destined to do is a great achievement by Alex and the team.
Like I say, it's, you know, this, you couldn't get much more of sort of how it was back in the day.
No, perfect. And it's great to see the amount of team effort that goes into it, because Alex, obviously, there's been such a huge amount of work put in by so many people to this project, and yeah, Alex and the team can all be really proud of everything they've achieved from this.
Fantastic. Andy, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully, well, we might catch up with you later for a quick sit rep.
No, my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Joes.
Well, here we are, lads and lasses. We've come to back at Convoy now, and we're with Mr. Matthew Pertley from S&G Plant Services. So Matthew is bringing up the rear, as you might be able to tell. So we've been up front with Greg. So Matt, what's involved at the back?
More of a case of keeping your eye in the mirrors and making sure that everything behind's staying behind, and that's about it really. Just working alongside Greg, CV and through, just generally working as a team just to make sure that nothing comes past us and they've got plenty of room for their manoeuvres.
That's it. And is it harder at front or is it harder at back?
When you get into a busy spot or a nice tight spot, then the front will be harder work.
Yeah, because you get snowplow at that point.
But generally at the back you get more grief.
Alright, you get all stick at back, do you?
Yeah.
Said the actress to the bishop. Because basically you're the one that they see holding job up.
Yeah, I'm the one holding the job up. And when they see a gap to overtake and I move out to stop them, I'm in trouble again.
Right. So what sort of speed have we been doing this morning? You'll have a better idea being at back.
We've averaged on the B road about 4 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And then once we got onto the A591, we were averaging about 8 mile an hour.
All right.
We did actually hit 10 mile an hour at one point. So.
Right. So you're a bit of a steam man. You know what crack is.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about these engines and what sort of challenges they'll be going through now. Because I mean, as far as I can tell, they've got 3 gears to play with.
Yeah, they've got three speed. As they go down the hill now, they can move the reversing lever. So you've got 4 reverse on 1 lever, and they'll be pulling that back probably to more of a neutral or reverse point.
Right.
And that then will make the steam cylinder act as a brake as well.
Right. So it's like literally it's engine braking at that point, but with steam.
With steam.
Right.
They also have a brake on the back wheel. Both back wheels are braking.
You just wind that on and off.
Wind it on and off. Yeah. So there are appliant brakes now.
Oh, you can just see now.
You can just hear the engine just chuffing slightly different where it's holding back.
Yeah.
And if you keep it at a nice steady pace like that, then everything should
be all right.
You don't want any emergency stops really. You just want nice, steady, efficient braking really.
They were interested this morning listening to the whistle signals.
Yeah.
So what? One long one for
emergency stop.
Yeah.
2 whistles to set off.
Yeah.
And 3 whistles if they want to come to like a nice safe stop.
Right, a controlled stop.
Yeah.
Right. And all 3 engines now, they'll all have brakes on now.
They'll all have the brakes on. They'll all be working in sync together.
Yeah.
All drivers are talking to each other, and basically Jack's on the trailer, working the trailer brakes, and everyone's basically seeing what he's doing because he's in charge.
So trailer man's running show.
Trailer man's running the show as far as what the engines need to be doing.
Right.
So from the back here, I can see when he's waving his arms, telling him to slow down, waving his arms the other way to increase speed if one of the engines seems like it's trailing a bit.
Right.
But yeah, we're averaging down this hill now about 5 mile an hour, nice steady pace.
And trailer brakes, they'll be on now as well, will they?
They'll be on now. Yeah. They're like an air actuated brake.
Oh right, it's got air brakes on trailer.
It has air brakes on the trailer, yeah.
Right. And what's building air pressure up on trailer?
Yeah, they've got an electric compressor on there, and they've also got a petrol one for a backup.
Yeah. And when that trailer were made back in day, what brakes would they have had on it then? Would they have been air then as well? Or?
It would have been the same principle, but probably vacuum.
And how would they have built vacuum up? Just
You can get steam-powered vacuum pump.
Oh,
That's how steam trains run their brakes on vacuum.
And it would have had its own little engine?
Would have had its own. Probably run off the engine pulling it.
Oh, right, got it. Right. And this is definitely not something you see every day anymore?
No, definitely not.
Well, that's it. The only time you see this sort of display happening now is in show rings and demo events, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Where this is actually a proper
move, really.
It's a commercial job, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah. Commercial job, running on movement orders as they do today with modern trucks.
Yeah.
So we've got a curfew on time when we have to be off the road, when we can start in the morning.
Right.
And we have an exact route that we've got to stick to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you've definitely got air this bit at back.
Yeah.
Because it's down to you when they can overtake.
It is.
So Greg kind of spots the gap, tells you, and then it's like, right, let a few.
But if you're stuck in a traffic jam, there's worse places to be. A lovely lake on
Well,
the
that's
right
it.
side.
Yeah, and all them waterfalls. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shame it's tonky.
It is.
So in terms of a setup like this in front, like we were saying, you'll have seen stuff like this, but like at steam fairs.
Yeah, generally you see them at the bigger steam fairs, really, in the arenas. Great Dorset Steam Fair, places like that.
Right. But this, I mean, in terms of a display of showing how it was done, you're not going to get any more.
No.
You're not going to get close to this, are you?
No, you very rarely would see a load like this being moved, especially over 3 days.
Yeah. Well, what age are these in front then?
Ranging from like 1920s to 1930s.
Right. So they're all good thick end of 100-year out?
Yeah.
Some going that, innit?
It is.
What did they know then that we don't know now about building stuff?
They made stuff to last.
So from S&G's point of view, how did you get roped into this? It's your fault, isn't it, really?
It just
Steam
happens,
boy.
yeah, being interested in the steam, Greg automatically enrolled me, really. There wasn't really a choice in it.
So how's this compared to a modern day shift escort job?
Bit slower. Very similar, really.
Yeah.
By the speed we're travelling at, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, so depending on what loads we are carting around, our speed has to change depending on the weight of the loads. So,
Yeah.
you can get down as far as 12 mile an hour with the wagon if you over your axle. If your axle weights are maxed out.
Yeah. And would you say there's a lot more variables involved with something like this with steam job? Cause
Yes, definitely. Yeah. There's only one engine trying to do everything with your modern wagon.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, all three have to be working in sync, and if one isn't,
Well, that's it.
it's all it's not going to work.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's 3 engines. What? 2 people on each one. Trail them on. So it's a fair.
Yeah, we'll pull over here. Yeah.
So it's a fair team of people involved, really, isn't it, to make it happen?
It is. Yeah. Right, so we're going to get out now and just do a bit of traffic management.
Right, that's what it is now, is it? Text them 8.
Yeah.
Right.
Well done, man. Well done.
So Alex, end of the road, back at Old Hull Farm.
We're back.
Yeah.
We made it.
How's it been?
Epic.
Yeah. Well, last time I saw you was on a wet Friday afternoon, but
Yeah.
obviously we're 2 days later now. It's Sunday. You
Yeah.
made it back.
No, it's gone really, really well. It's not gone quite as I thought in my head, just how it would be.
Right.
Oh, on Friday, obviously the weather was horrendous, but that was one of the most picturesque bits, but unfortunately that spoiled that a little
Yeah.
bit. But hey, you know, we did it, and to be fair, what I thought was some really big climbs and hills and in there, we absolutely trounced them, like,
Yeah.
no problem at all. And we've proved that you can still do it, you know, and they are as good as what they said they were. They're phenomenally powerful.
Yeah.
You're so spoiled these days when I think when you hook a big tractor up or a big truck up to something, and it's pretty, it does make it
It's
seem
just
easy.
point and shoot, isn't
And
it?
we've done it, and it's taken us 3 days. And to be fair, yeah, we could have done it in 2 days, but you'd have really, really known about it and traffic and everything else. But you know, that's as it was. Whereas, same job we've done, you'd have chucked that in the back of a wagon and probably been done in an afternoon, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point, really. We've been there and done that. But coming through Windermere, and I just didn't think it was as steep as it was. You drive it in your car and you think, yeah, it'll be all right, but we'll be up here and say, oh my God. We were absolutely balls out, flat strap, everything it had to give. And we come up through there and it was epic. It was fabulous. Like front end of this thing where it was just and so bouncing.
Yeah, just nodding.
It was nodding, it were there. And then the engine on the back, that had a problem, so they had to chuck fire out. So then we were sat blocking road, so we carried on with 2 engines on front, so we're dragging like another 20 tonne on top of what we had, so we're heading towards probably 70 tonne. And we were in bottom, and there was a really steep climb, and I thought, oh, this is it, it's not going to happen. Anyway, we made it, yeah, it was good. So it was great.
Spot on. So when are you doing it again?
Soon.
Soon?
Yeah.
You got taste for it now, have you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what someone said before, would you do it again? I said, absolutely. Yeah, do
We're having it now.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's what they like. I've never been a big fan on let's buy a vintage tractor and do it up that clean. You wouldn't want somebody to get on it in case they scratched it.
Yeah.
Everything I have works. And I enjoy having. I'm not really a collector, but I have a lot of things because I like them and I like to use them. And we built this engine because I wanted one. I want to use it.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done today, you know, last 3 days. And today we've used it for absolutely everything it was meant to do. And it was just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And it's a test of everybody's skills, working together with 3 engines, driving together. You've put your trust in your steersman and the man in front steer, you know, everyone's working together. It's a really great thing to do as a group of interested blokes. And even if you're not a particular steam man, Greg's come, hasn't he, from S&G to help us. Not a steam man, thoroughly enjoyed it. And said, well, like, yeah, when's next due? Because, you know, because he gets it. Because you don't have to be you get what you're trying to do. You get what you're doing.
Well, it's the same. I get to review the most modern machinery day in, day out. But I appreciate this because this is where it all comes from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, until the next time, eh?
Definitely. Absolutely.
Nice one.
I'll let it not be too long.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
We will definitely
enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll definitely catch up with you again at some point.
Certainly.
I'm sure. Right lads, that's it. End of day 3, Sunday afternoon. Made it back to Old Hull Farm.
Yeah.
Come on, how was it?
Well, I've told him, don't ring me, we'll ring you for next one. No, it was grand. Today it were easier than we thought it were going to be because it were, I don't know how many, Chris knows how many miles it were it?
About 21, 22.
Yeah, but obviously with dual carriageway and
2 lanes to work at, haven't we?
Yeah, it were fairly uneventful. So no drama really, top gear, other than up Blindle Fell.
That right?
Yeah.
Odd couple of breakdowns, haven't we? But,
Yeah, yeah, we had
managed to traffic manage that. Job's
Yeah,
good.
with a tube gone and something else, I don't know what you are now. But right, we're grand.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
And we're in a rush to do the next one now, are we?
We'll have another do, I think.
Have another do.
Yeah.
Grand.
Yeah, there's talk of it going to Whitehaven in 12 months when it's been
tated up.
a bit, so I think we'll have a do at that.
Well, there we go.
Oh, it's been enjoyable. We've been fed well and we've had a few bites at night.
Yeah.
So it's been good to we enjoyed ourselves.
Sure, yeah.
Grand.
And fair play to Alex for putting it on.
Yeah, he took the when you look at it, like he took some organising it and Charlotte as well. You know, the paperwork, everything. They wouldn't let me put the movement order in, even though that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, most days for our business. But because it had to be on his operator's licence, so then we couldn't get involved. And, all right, we've advised him, but it were all our work for him and regular.
It were all on his head.
He didn't know if it were going to proper happen or not. You know, with police, with movements and all this lot. But it's all come good, and I think they deserve.
Yeah, fair play to their team, really.
Yeah, they've
good
done well,
team of
like,
lads.
you know.
Good team.
Good team of lads, good team of drivers, because like they've never done it before, have they? So they're working together.
There's a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, you know, definitely. You know, they have to know when to push and when to pull.
Steep learning curve.
Yeah, very steep learning curve.
Yeah, but you look at that, and then, like I say, Charlotte, you know, Alex's missus, like, you know, what she done behind the scenes is absolutely, and nobody says that, do they? It's
No,
absolutely
that's
awesome,
it.
really, like, so. No, we're glad to be fair to it, aren't we?
Yeah, and these machines are nearly 100 years old, and they've all made it here and performed well for 3 years.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Odd breakdown, but still going. Going.
And like I've like a 13 plate tranny van here, that's
Still going, yeah. You're still going.
Yeah, that's good going. I'm 54. I mean, what more do you want? Go on that
need to do clutch on Monday.
yeah, but other than that, no, we're done. Yeah, happy.
Mega. Grand job.
Superb. Thank you very much. So,
Cheers, James.